So I've been super busy this past year promoting my short film, which is the reason I've not posted anything in a long while. If you haven't checked my short film out, I'll put a link in the description, and you definitely should because it's really awesome. So anyways, as part of promoting the film, I had to fly around the world to go to various film festivals. I was in South Korea, Montreal, Oaxaca, Mexico, Austin, Texas, Toronto, and while visiting these places was fantastic, the plane rides there were decidedly not. I used to enjoy flying, but it's gotten progressively worse over time. I mean, most things do, but airlines in particular have gotten fucking awful. I mean, Iceland's WOW Air just shut down recently without telling their passengers. Like, they just up and closed with flights still scheduled, stranding people all over the globe. And they were selling tickets right up until they closed, too. Just like straight up ganking motherfuckers' money. Got 'em.
Damn, it feels good to be a gangster. A real gangster ass nigga plays his cards right. A real gangster ass nigga never runs his fucking mouth, cause real gangster ass niggas don't start fights.
The best airline experience I had this past year was on Singapore Airlines, but that's because I paid a good deal of money to be in what they call premium economy. I did it because my flight to South Korea was like 13 hours and I didn't want to be crammed in economy class for over half a day. And what's up with all these classes they offer? I mean, Jesus Christ, look at all of them. Economy class, premium economy class, business class, first class, working class, algebra class, and they even offer suites. Why? Why can't they give us all a few more inches in our seats instead of giving one asshole an entire fucking apartment on my plane ride? I mean, look at this punchable prick. Yeah, thumbs up to me while the rest of you assholes get dislocated spines trying to sleep in coach. Though Singapore Airlines is pretty great as far as airlines go, and they give you these free socks to wear, which are pretty cool, but for the love of God, do not wear them into the bathroom.
And now, our feature presentation.
I was waiting in line for the bathroom in premium economy with other people. There's never a good place to stand except in the aisle, so your ass or dangly bits are going to be in someone's face always. I mean, why don't they add a few more bathrooms? There's always a line. Oh yeah, it's because of this asshole. So anyways, I was waiting in line when the flight attendant gives me what sounded like a pro tip at the time. She says,
"There are bathrooms in the back of the plane as well."
So I ditched the premium economy bathroom line and walked through the next 2 levels of economy until I reached the back of the plane. And guess what? There was a fucking line, and it was longer than the one I was in. What was the point of telling me to go back if I was just going to wait in the line there too? And when I finally got into the bathroom, the entire floor was covered in piss, soaking my fucking socks. So I had to walk all the way back to my seat with wet ass socks. And then I had to peel those gross wet things off my feet like some unsophisticated cretin. And so there I was, holding crumpled up piss socks in my hands with piss soaked bare feet, just sitting there like an asshole. Most every other time I've flown, it's been in economy class, and the seats have gotten smaller over time. We've all noticed it happening, sure, but now it's hilariously absurd how much tighter they've gotten. I have to fold my shoulders in if I don't want to be neck deep in the armpits of the guy beside me. Before I go on, I discovered something fucking weird as hell while doing a Google image search for this part, and I feel I need to point it out before moving on. If you Google scrunching shoulders, you get a bunch of pictures of some fine-ass ladies in skimpy outfits. Why? I don't know, but, oh, good Lord Jesus. Anyway, moving on. The size of your seat, which is an estimated distance from the seat in front of you, aka your leg room, is called pitch. And both the pitch and the width have shrunk through the years in order to accommodate more seats per flight. Pitch has shrunk for economy class on average from 36 inches to 31 inches. Some airlines have dropped as low as 28 inches. And average seat width has also been reduced by about 18 fucking inches. And yes, I know I should be working in a dick size joke right about now, but this pisses me off too much and I've got a boner to pick with these airlines. And the worst part, people are getting fatter overall, and we're getting taller too. So why are the airlines trying to make us so uncomfortable? It makes no sense. I literally tried to open my laptop on an American Airlines flight and didn't have enough room to open it without folding the screen forward by about 20 degrees, making it impossible to use it. I feel like we're just years away from airlines doing away with seats altogether and it'll be standing room only, like some Beijing subway train. I mean, you think I'm joking, but this family was recently forced to sit on the floor for their flight because their seats didn't actually exist on the plane. What the fuck? What kind of oversight is this? How do you book seats that don't exist on a plane? Was this like the first time this plane had been up in the air? I mean, at that point, you should get unlimited free booze and be able to yell this out with impunity at least once during the flight.
There's a bomb on the plane! There's a bomb!
And they nickel and dime us to death too. Meals and checked baggage used to be included with ticket prices. Now they charge you for those. According to Forbes, airlines in 2017 earned an additional $82 billion in profits because of these upcharges, a 264% increase since 2010. And because of this, most people don't check bags anymore, which slows the boarding process process down is everyone is putting things in the overhead bins, which means there's never enough space in the overhead for everyone's luggage. So if you don't board early, you might have to check your bag at the gate. And the airlines know this and use it against us by upcharging for priority boarding. And you're going to consider paying for it too, just so you can get in early and get your bag in the overhead bin before those Dust Bowl sharecroppers in Zone 9 start boarding. Yeah, thumbs up, and fuck those poor assholes with their discount tickets. Speaking of poor assholes, I did have a chance to fly first class for the first time recently. Man, what a magical place, and you can't help feeling a little superior. What's that all about? Like you don't want to make eye contact with the peasants and coach as they're filing past you? Ugh, I just want to sip my complimentary glass of champagne in peace, goddammit. Get this proletariat out of my eye line. Seriously, what is that about? I fly coach all the time, but the couple times I get first class upgrade, I start acting like the heir to the Rothschild fortune. And why is it so many don't understand how to exit a fucking plane? It's basic common sense. You let the rows in front of you go first before you go. It's not that hard. But every time some self-absorbed penis tries to rush past everyone, why are people such jerks? And this is precisely why I've come to hate window seats, because I have to do that half stand thing in my seat where my head keeps bumping the twisty air knob thingy, just so I can pounce in the aisle the very second there's a millimeter gap that opens. Otherwise, some antsy knucklehead from the row behind me will rush past. I mean, Jesus Christ, the planing shouldn't be this stressful. And I'm not sure I have blamed the passengers for the bad behavior while flying, to be honest. I'm starting to think this might just be a learned behavior.
You alright? I learned it by watching you.
The first people we tend to interact with at the airport are the TSA. Going through security is a horrible experience, and they say the rudest shit to you. It just puts you in a bad mood. It makes flying a worse experience than it already is. I always opt out from those full-body scanners. And sometimes I get condescending remarks from the TSA agents claiming the radiation put off by these things is the same levels as the flight itself. Yeah, and you know what? A little bit of dark chocolate is good for you, but that doesn't mean you should eat a bar of it a day. I'm not trying to load up on the radiation I can skip out on. I don't want them to find out in 10 years.
Turns out low-level radiation is leading to increased chances of cancer. Sorry.
And it's not such a far-fetched notion, because the TSA has gotten it wrong before. They were using the higher radiation-emitting backscatter X-rays before replacing them with the current millimeter wave scanners. And a professor of biophysics at the University of California, San Francisco determined that those backscatter machines exposed us to 10% of the radiation you get from a chest X-ray. So, you know, thanks but no thanks. I don't think I'll be trusting the TSA on this one. And I don't even have to mention how incredibly intrusive those X-ray images are.
Daddy, would you like some sausage? Daddy, would you like some sausages?
So like I said, I opt out of those scans, which means I always get the pat-downs. Though they really shouldn't call them pat-downs. They should call them what they are: sexual assault.
I've made my mistakes, got nowhere to run. The night goes on as I'm fading away.
They used to rub the inner part of my thigh until they, quote, met resistance, end quote, which sucked that a grown-ass man would be touching my balls, but now they straight up rub my penis with the back of their hands multiple times like they're trying to get me off. How is that even legal? I have a boner to pick with these guys. In comedy, that's called a callback. I'm not implying all TSA agents are perverts or anything, but if someone were a pervert and wanted to grope people, then that would be the perfect job. But you don't have to take my word for it.
Two TSA officers targeting unsuspecting male passengers. The pair, a man and a woman, conspired to find and grope, quote, attractive male passengers, touching a male passenger's genital area and buttocks with his palms.
The job also attracts assholes. I once saw an Asian family waiting in security, and this TSA agent told them that they needed to take something out of their baby stroller and put it through the x-ray machine, but they didn't speak English, so they didn't understand her. But this rude beast started raising her voice and repeating herself, as if the language barrier could somehow miraculously be solved by the volume of her voice. When predictably the family didn't understand, she said sarcastically, "I don't speak Chinese or whatever." Well, they don't speak English or whatever, but you know who does? The security agents of South Korea when I was there, even though I didn't speak any Korean except for hello and thank you. And they were extremely polite, and they didn't care that my feet smelled like airplane floor piss. And the TSA is nothing short of a failure. Their screeners miss an embarrassingly high 95% of explosives and weapons during security tests. And they've never caught a terrorist or thwarted an attack. They're just a pointless annoyance that costs us $7 billion a year. So no wonder people are pissed off when they fly. You're just trying to get on your flight, but you have to wait in long lines with rude TSA agents, and you have to take your shoes off and your belt off and everything out of your pockets, and pack all your toiletries in a baggie, take all your stupid electronics out of your bags, and put everything in separate bins. And Jesus Christ, trying to get through security, I'm not trying to undress and unpack everything. TSA does have plans to implement new 3D scanners so you never have to take anything out of your bags ever again, which sounds amazing until you hear how many they have.
The TSA rolls out the first new scanner at JFK Airport in New York tomorrow, but they plan to deploy 15 by the end of the year.
15 scanners. 15! There are 789 airports in the US, and every one of them has overburdened security checkpoints. What do they think 15 scanners are going to accomplish? And does that say anal logic? Okay, they're just fucking with us now. Oh, and the best part is it's not only the airlines that are nickel and diming us, the TSA is doing it too. They've made flying such a despicably awful experience that they now offer you a chance to pay to beat the lines. It's called TSA PreCheck, and it costs 85 fucking bucks. It's like a Disney Fast Pass, but instead of getting to ride Splash Mountain, you get to keep your shoes on when they touch your pee-pee. And here's something I find personally bizarre. The TSA has their own Instagram page with almost 1 million followers. What sort of things can the TSA be posting that could be that interesting? Well, let's look. Oh, so it's a mix of cute drug-sniffing dog pics and scary weapons they confiscated? That's wonderful propaganda, but I think they left a few important ones out, like this one, and this one, and this. Gotta add this one. I wonder if this one would look better with the lo-fi filter or the Juno filter. Fuck it, Willow filter. Going full tilt Ansel Adams, bitches. Edgy as fuck. It's no secret flying in a post-9/11 world really sucks, and it doesn't have to be this way. We could be secure without enduring sexual assault, and the airlines can offer more room on flights and not nickel and dime us for every little thing. And you know what is the most annoying about that? Is that after 9/11, Congress passed the Air Transportation Safety and System Stabilization Act, which bailed out the airlines. So we paid to keep them in business, and they thank us by upcharging us for things like priority boarding, checking our bags, and so on. It's obnoxious, but we also have to blame ourselves for making airline travel so unbearable for each other. Some of us just lack self-awareness. I mean, just look at some of the things people do on planes. Ah! No! Gross. Why? Is it that hard to sit on the plane for a couple hours with your shooed feet on the floor? And if you gotta piss, can you make it into the toilet? I know using airplane bathrooms is like trying to do water ballet in a shoebox, but at least make an attempt. And don't be this asshole. He titled this video, Airplane Toilet Trick. Yeah, good trick. Abracadabra, now we all have shitty buttholes. And the video is from 2007, so I'll give it some slack for looking like it was made in MS Paint. But just look at how many of these videos are online of people flushing rolls of toilet paper on planes. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, the pinnacle of fucking human achievement. Maybe this sheds some light as to why WOW Air just up and closed their airlines and stranded their customers. They got sick of cleaning out clogged toilets. I'm certain it's not the reason, but if it were, I'd understand. We could all do a little better, not just the airlines and the TSA, but you and me. Maybe let's try to be a little nicer to one another, be more considerate, because if we don't, we may all wake up one day in a dystopian future where we can't tolerate each other anymore because everyone's an asshole. And you may think it's far-fetched to think that everyone's going to become an asshole, but I think it's anal logical.